Hello students, very good morning to all of you. After a long interval, आज मैं तुम आगु आसुची. I think you are all healthy, safe and secure. So stay at home, stay safe. Okay. So तुम्हारा DSC 3 जोटा एग्रीकल्चरल इकोनॉमिक्स से ही पेपरटा को पढ़ेबी. आई थिंक यू नो दैट यू विल बी हैविंग ऑनलाइन एग्जाम 6th सेमेस्टर. तो ऑनलाइन एग्जामटा केमती हम, हाउ विल बी द क्वेश्चन पेपर्स फॉर द मल्टीपल चॉइस क्वेश्चंस और सब्जेक्टिव क्वेश्चंस से विषय आम किसी खबर पाइनु. जितेबाला क्लीयर हो पिक्चर आम तुमको जनइबू. तेणु कंटिन्यू योर प्रिपरेशन, पढ़ापढ़ी कर भल भाव एवं तुम अन्य ऑनर्स पेपर सब सरी आसला. यही पेपरटा आरंभ हम. तेणु आम शीघ्र जिते शीघ्र संभव मु तुमको मेन कॉन्सेप्ट कहीजी. एंड आई थिंक about agricultural economics you are all aware of it because Indian economy आम बहुत पढ़ाई आगु. तथापि वो तुमको पढ़ेबी. तुम जो प्रोजेक्ट पेपर सब देती सब शीघ्र कंप्लीट कर. जो दिन तुमको मु मेसेज देवी तार गोटे दिन भितर तुम आनिक मत सबमिट कर. ओके. तेणु कंप्लीट कर, प्रोजेक्ट को कंप्लीट कर रख. जिते बेले खबर दिया सांगे सांगे आनी पहुँच. ओके. नाउ लेट्स स्टार्ट एग्रीकल्चरल इकोनॉमिक्स यूनिट 1. फर्स्ट तुम अच्छी रोल ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर इन इंडियन इकोनॉमी एंड व्हाट इज द कंडीशन ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर इन इंडियन इकोनॉमी इन द प्रेजेंट टाइम. Now, when I say the role of agriculture on Indian economy, we must know that agriculture is the backbone of Indian economy. That is, Indian economy or the development of Indian economy rests on the performance of this primary sector, that is agricultural sector. So let us discuss what is the role of agriculture on the economic development of India one by one, point wise. You see, I have written here role of agriculture. First is contribution to national income. Now, the first and foremost role of agriculture is that it provides a good percentage to the national income of India. If you take a data, in 1951, agriculture was providing more than 50% of the national income of the country. But in the present time, it has reduced to only 18%. Okay? Agricultural sector contributes about 18% to the national income of the country, which is not small. Though it is falling, but still, agriculture provides a good amount of contribution to the national income of the country. Okay? Don't think that agriculture means only farming. Agriculture includes farming, plantations, cattle or dairy farmings, poultry farmings, fisheries, and many other horticultures, flower cultivation. All these come under agriculture taken together. So all this contributes about 18% to the national income of the country. Second is source of livelihood. Now, Indian culture is agriculture. Majority of the people of the country are engaged in agriculture. It is the main source of livelihood of the people of the country. Because according to 2011 census, nearly 55% of the people of the country are engaged directly or indirectly in agricultural sector. So it provides livelihood, it provides earnings, it provides the maintenance of more than 55% or more than half of the people of the country. So it is the largest sector which provides employment, which provides sustenance, which provides livelihood to the people of the country. Third is source of food supply. Now when I talk of the food supply, we talk of food supply of the people and of the cattle. That is food and fodder. Food means all the food grains that we consume, whether it directly come from the plants or crops or it come from the industries through agro-based industries. All these food for the people come from the agricultural sector. Okay, so it provides food to the people of the country, as well as fodder. Fodder is the food of the cattle, the food of the poultry, the food of the fishing sector. All these fodders, they are also produced by the agricultural sector. So it provides food for everything, for everybody, including human beings, animals, cattle, then poultry, then fishing, then everything. So it provides food. So it also has a great role for providing of food. Then industrial development. Agriculture and industry, they are correlated. Without development of industry, agriculture cannot develop. And without the development of industry, agriculture cannot also prosper. So agriculture is the key sector which gives boost to the industrial development of the country. Because all industries take agricultural output as their input. Therefore, all agro-based industries, these agro-based industries, they take raw materials from the agricultural sector. Take the example of, you take any example. Textile industry, take the example of cotton, take the raw material as cotton. Sugar industry, take sugarcane as the raw material. Jute industry, take jute as raw materials. So all industries, they run through the raw materials, and the raw materials are directly or indirectly, they are extracted from the agricultural sector. Okay. Next is export promotion. So industrial development depend upon, very much depend upon the agricultural development. Okay. Next is export promotion. Export is the key to development of any country. Nowadays it's a good sign, healthy sign, that Indian exports are increasing from the agricultural front. Not only direct agricultural products like you see basmati rice, sugar. Nowadays you find there is a great boost of the sugar industries, because in the world there is very the less production of sugar. So export of Indian sugar to foreign countries has increased tremendously in the recent years, recent months I should say. So in export sector, Indian agriculture also has a great role to play. Besides, you talk of cashew nuts, you talk of coffee, you talk of rubber, you talk of tea, you talk of marine fish products, mutton, flesh, then you talk of the skin. All these agricultural goods are exported, and we earn huge amount of foreign exchange for this, from this export of goods. Next is government revenue. Though government gets less revenue from this sector, because government gives lot of subsidies for the agricultural sector, but there are certain sectors from which government gets huge amount of revenue. They are the cash crops. Okay, from cash crops, government revenue is very high. Take the example of coffee, tea, rubber, cashew nut, and other cash crops. From all such crops, cash crops, government gets revenue. From the traditional crops, government doesn't get much revenue, but from the cash crops, mostly which are exported, fruits, So from all these, government gets huge amount of revenue, which also increases our government exchequer and also the development of the country. Last is economic planning. Now, planning of the country is always based on agricultural production. A year in which agricultural production is much more high, now it gives a impetus to the planners to go for a better planning. And when the agricultural production is low because of floods, droughts, then the planners, they accept a different strategy for which they can push the agriculture. So planning very much depend upon agricultural productivity, agricultural prosperity of the country. So these are the contribution or the role of agriculture on Indian economy. Now the second question is, what is the condition of agriculture in the country in the present time? Now if you look at the past, at the time of independence, agriculture was at a very deplorable condition, was a hopeless condition, was a pathetic condition, because things were very, very, very miserable for the Indian farmers. But over these years, after 70 years of our planning, today we find that Indian agriculture has developed to tremendous extent, but still a lot has to be done. But let's see what is the condition of Indian agriculture at the present moment. First, you can see there is the presence of feudalism in Indian agriculture. Feudalism means there is a division of the masters and the tenants. That is, the farm is owned by somebody else. It is owned by the master, and he hires the land to the tillers, as you say, the temporary tenants to cultivate. That we call bhag chas. Then owner and farmer is not the same person. They are the two different persons. So this is called feudalism. So someone is the master and other one is the servant or the tenant. So these two, because of the presence of the two types of people in Indian agriculture, the production and productivity is suffering. Okay. The second is dualism. Dualism means presence of two systems in the same sector. That is, in the agricultural sector, we find the existence of both modern technology as well as the traditional technology. We find farmers of Punjab, Haryana, Andhra Pradesh, West Bengal, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, they are very advanced in their farm activities. They use sophisticated machineries. There is complete mechanization of farming. But in the states like Odisha, Bihar, Jharkhand, Assam, Madhya Pradesh, there is maximization of traditional farming. Green revolution has not touched every part of the country. So there is existence of dualism, two types of production methods in the agricultural front. Third is growing indebtedness. Now the agriculture farmers' indebtedness is rising year after year. Indebted means borrowings, loans. They are getting the indebtedness day by day. That is, they are unable to repay the loans. The loans you get for the current year, now in the next year it again increases because of crop failure. So there is growing indebtedness in the Indian agricultural sector. The farmers' economic standard is going down and down, and because it is only because of the crop failure and improper crop pattern. There is gamble of monsoon. Another feature of Indian economy today, of agriculture today, is that Indian agriculture very much depend upon the monsoon for their production. Now you find the monsoon is very active, the rain is good, so the agricultural production will be more. But once monsoon is late, monsoon is more or very less, there is flood, there is drought. So because you are dependent upon the rainwater, so therefore your production is left to gambling. It is just nothing but a chance of I should say fate, that whether you produce more or less. So that is called gamble of monsoon. Now orthodox farming means farming sector or the farmers, they adopt very traditional, very old model, old fashioned, outdated, obsolete method of farming for which the output is less. In the obsolete method of farming, we not only use very outdated implements, we also don't use better irrigation facilities, more fertilizers, we don't use better yielding variety of seeds. So these all these taken together, our agriculture becomes very traditional, primitive and outdated, for which our agriculture suffers. Then is traditional crop and no cash crop. Now in case of India, majority of the farmers, they simply go for the age old traditional crops, which gives very little profit to them, and they don't produce to create market surplus. They simply produce for their own consumption, or very little of it is sold in the market. Now those products like paddy, rice, wheat, bajra, now these do not give them more profit, and as a result of which their productivity, their economic standard falls. Now instead of that, if they would go for the cash crops, now in states like, you see the states like West Bengal, you see Andhra Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana, they mostly produce cash crops, and these cash crops, they are more paying, they give more profit to the farmer. So Indian farmer is not engaged, very little engaged in the production of cash crops. Lack of proper marketing. Another defect of Indian farmers today, Indian farming sector today, is that there is improper marketing. We don't have the minimum support price for every crop. We don't have it for vegetables, we don't have it for fruits. We simply for paddy, wheat or some other very limited number of crops, we have minimum support price. As a result of which the farmers, they are forced to sell their products at a very low price. We can call it as distress sell. They sell it because they want money, and for this they are unable to get more profit. So these are the features of Indian agriculture today. Now in spite of that, we can say Indian agriculture is just going up and up, and it is just boosting, because the reason being that the population engaged in agriculture is gradually reducing. You see, in 1951 it was 80%. Now it has come down to nearly 50%. And in the coming years, you will find that the percentage of population in this sector will be less than 30%. So it's a very healthy sign that when population will be reduced from this sector, we shall have a better scope for the agricultural sector to grow. Okay? So आज ये था नेक्स्ट टाइम आसले तो तुमको आउ नेक्स्ट एटा पढ़ेबी, तुम सब प्रोजेक्ट रेडी कर रख, जब तुमको कहबी से सबमिट कर। ओके, थैंक यू, हैव ए नाइस टाइम।